Hello, Gemini friends. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. That's me. My name's Annie, guys. Happy to have you out there with me. So I just finished 3 rounds of love readings, so check all of those out. You have at least 3 love videos, plus I think your April monthly's up. So yeah, if you're into that, go ahead and check that out. Today we are going to do career and finances. So a nice little change of pace. Lord help me, I don't know what we're going to get, right? A lot of uncertainty right now, but happy to relay the messages as they present here. As always, guys, come into this with an open heart and an open mind. Not everything I say will resonate with you. You will always be in the driver's seat. Highly recommend you come into these readings with an open heart and an open mind. Ultimately, you get to choose what messages resonate with you, what you find to be important, what you're going to take away here today. I come at this with love and positivity. Please take that away. That would be my major ask of you, Gemini. Everything else about this video in the description box below. Yeah, including the decks I'm using, my social media, etc., etc. Like, share, subscribe wherever you can. Guys, I'm so close to reaching my goal. I started this channel a year ago, April 2019, and I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, if you can hit that subscribe button, that would be cool. If you don't want notifications from me, that's cool. Don't hit the wiggly bell. But yeah, if you could at least hit subscribe, that would help me so much, and I love you forever. All right, enough of that. We're going to hop in shortly. All right, I have one little thing to tell you. Fast forward a minute if you don't want to hear this, but this isn't a me story. This is important. So I've been doing a little bit of like extra research on midheavens, which I always sort of knew about. But here's the thing. This is why I'm telling you this, Gemini. It highly, highly impacts the career you choose or the career that you could potentially really succeed in. So if you don't know how to get your midheaven, what you do is you go to those birth charts online, free birth charts. It's like astro astrology. Plug in your date, time of birth, all that information, and it will generate your birth chart. And then it's going to tell you what your midheaven is. It's what is in your 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn. So for me, I always knew mine is Pisces, right? But it makes sense in the long run where I actually figured out where I'm supposed to be doing something kind of intuitive and kind of psychic and something sort of creative. But especially for anybody else out there who has a midheaven in Pisces, because that sort of career is so kind of mystical and dreamlike, we usually don't know like what the hell we're supposed to do with our lives until much later, right? Once we kind of step into that. So what I'm getting at here, Gemini, if for anybody else struggling with like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, at minimum, see what your midheaven is, because that's going to give you some major indicators on where you could potentially have great strength in any sort of career. And I find that sort of thing fascinating. I have tons of Gemini in my chart. I always like to pretend I'm an honorary Gemini, but I found it so helpful and insightful and just kind of like, oh shit, like this is really cool. So if you're at all interested in that, if you're trying to kill time during quarantine, I would suggest looking that up because it may even help you like expand your money, your bank account, right? Start a side hustle in some other passion or interest that you have. All right, let's hop into your actual reading. So bottom of your deck is the assessment card and the 8 of Cups. So you guys are thinking about leaving something that is not making you happy anymore, or something where you've seen like you've outgrown your role or you've outgrown your position. The money is stagnant, right? And obviously that could potentially have to do with something going on right now, right? What's going on globally. Here's the thing. I'm not reading through that lens because ultimately it's like everybody's job is going to be a little bit different on pause or delay, on furlough, on this list. So these are messages that are sort of going to relate to you when I think we get back into sort of like the general routine of things, right? It's not to say that things are ever going to be exactly the same. I actually don't think they will be. But either case, I do want to say for a lot of you, your current job, you're looking at it and going, it's almost like it's been a good ride, but with 8 of Cups, it's like, what's next? Like all these tools on my table, it's almost like they've lost their magic. Like I've done everything I can here. It's almost like you've accomplished what you wanted to do in your current role or in your current position. So maybe you're applying for, a leadership position, or maybe you're applying somewhere else, or maybe you're starting a side hustle because you see much more potential in it. But yeah, currently you're just kind of like, even like with that dark hood, you're just like, it's almost like you're mourning the loss. You are and you aren't though. I was going to say you're mourning the loss of something that intuitively you know it's ended. Here, okay, this is actually really beautiful. Different decks too. This is great. You guys are like the hooded, cloaked figure. Then you go on some sort of path of spiritual enlightenment onto the next thing. It has to do with finding more happiness in your life. It could be some sort of intuitive or psychic gift, something that's highly creative, something that is even like very maternal and nurturing by nature, whatever that next thing you are doing would be. It also goes back to a skill that you've utilized in the past, perhaps not in a monetary means, but it's some sort of skill or talent that you've carried with you throughout the years, even throughout the decades, I'm hearing. So you could even be returning to a family home to collaborate with a sibling on something. You could be doing something helping families, helping children, I just heard Parks and Rec, helping the community, doing good service, good deeds. That's sort of what I was getting at with this like maternal and Virgo energy with the Hermit, this a career of service that provides love and compassion and empathy to families, to those around you, even in a lighter sense. This doesn't mean, you're going for sainthood. You're contributing something to the world that brings people laughter, that brings people warmth, that brings people light, that brings people sunshine. It's like you're doing a good service, even by means of this creative project. You do paintings that people hang on their wall and it brings them joy. It inspires them. There's something here about a domino effect of what you're doing. It's almost like, I heard trailblazer, but maybe in a sense, that seems almost like a hype man type thing to say. But there's something about you are cutting a path that other people you are cutting a path that other people are going to follow. And there's something about you make it easier for them to transition into what you're doing. So I'm by no means saying that you're doing something that's never been done before. I mean, if that's the case, that's fucking awesome, Gemini. Congratulations. Keep doing that. But there's something about you're doing something that's very difficult. There's lots of pushback. There's lots of obstacles to try and get to whatever it is that you want to do. Because here's the thing, part of that obstacle is that it involves a huge amount of bravery and courage. You might even be doing something very political or fighting for some sort of just cause or something that is constantly being put down or in the shadows, or something about you're trying to hold a spotlight to something that people neglect or don't see. Again, something about your compassionate nature. You're wanting to support a group of people. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling, traveling off here. There's something about it takes great bravery, emotional bravery to go into this career that you're trying to break into. Maybe you would be getting involved in some sort of career where you get a lot of criticism thrown at you. There's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of negativity or controversy surrounding what it is that you're very passionate about. But that's sort of what I mean, that you're a trailblazer, is like you have to go into this in warrior mode, knowing that whatever criticism gets thrown at you, you have to deflect. You have to let it bounce right off. I'm almost getting like karate moves and something about the gracefulness of the body, or the gracefulness of, I think it's just how you handle criticism, but something about like my gestures here. I don't know what that would be. Maybe now I'm getting like mimes and robots. Anyway, moving on. I don't know what that intuitive hit meant, but okay. So maybe like a performance, doing something on a stage, giving speeches publicly, doing something in the entertainment industry, something where you would potentially ensue or incur. I think incur is the right word. A lot of criticism and a lot of, I'm getting like public attention or public spotlight. There could be an article written about you that. Well, actually, there may have already been an article written about you that sorry, God, I cannot find my words today. I know exactly what I'm trying to say. Defamation of character, something about that. Something about you or your body of work got misconstrued, or it could be the opposite. This is so funny. You may have tried to write something about something else in your work that got misconstrued, and you're writing like a letter to the author, like, it's something like, allow me to correct you, sir. Here's what I'm actually doing. Here's the support I'm actually, fighting for. It's very confident, and yet you're not. So there's an interesting dynamic of when you do your work, like you fucking bring it, Gemini. There's an unstoppability. I just made that word up. I think there's like an unstoppability to you. There's great tenacity. But there's something about when you're in the process of figuring out your next step, there's a lot of contemplation. when you're in it, when you're doing it, it's unquestionable. People believe you because you believe you. It's in the moments in between. I'm getting almost like the shadow hours of the night when you're up in bed, rolling around, thinking about your next, whatever it is, right? There's a lot of like, I don't know. And I say that too because this card is coming up. You guys get this card all the time. And this is your energy. This is a Gemini card. But anyway, we're going to hop into your actual reading. But you guys are wanting to move towards a career. And for a lot of you, it does involve a physical move. That could just be from your current location. Obviously. It could be from your current job to another job. I could even, something about moving up the floors, like, I heard corporate ladder. It doesn't have to be that, but something about, I'm sensing you guys want an increase in your title. It's like, I've been in this role for 5 years now. Like, what else you got? So a lot of you, again, you've reached a point where you've done all you can. So it's almost like you may have even had a discussion with your boss about what's the next step. And I'm almost getting, they were like, that's it. Like, welcome. Welcome to the rest of your life. And you're just like, oh, hell no. That's what I mean. You guys are willing to take some sort of risk. You're risking your security. You're risking your financial means to go after something that is your spiritual path. It's something you were meant to go into. These cards are very significant for you, but it does involve breaking away from the status quo. It involves breaking away from something that you've been questioning, I'm getting for years now. You haven't necessarily been emotionally fulfilled here, but it's met your needs in terms of finances. It's been steady income, something about the reap of the harvest. Every year you get that bonus check at Christmas, or, there's little milestones you look for, not milestones, little bonuses, it's almost like a flower that springs from the ground. But here's the thing, you anticipate it, you expect it, because it's almost like tradition. That's what I mean. You guys are breaking away from tradition. It's very, you know what to expect at this job. In a sense, it's like the Truman Show. Every day is the same, or whatever that movie is that I'm trying to reference and not doing it well. Every day is the same. What movie is that? That's going to drive me nuts. Groundhog's Day. That's what I was thinking of. You know it, like, you wake up to the same song on your ringtone and this and that, and then you eat dinner at the same time. You clock out for lunch. Like, it's extremely predictable, and look, it's extremely mundane. Something about you being relayed to me as this hooded figure. It's like you're wise beyond your years. It's like you're a little wizard. You're meant to go off and do something that provides, I'm getting like either caring for the environment or caring for humanity. Again, helping families with something. You could be like involved in court cases regarding children who grow up in like abusive homes, or you're a do-gooder is what I'm getting at. You're an earth angel. You've been chosen to sort of cut this path, but it's light work, right? You're doing light work for the masses, for the people, for the community. And I do want to highlight, even if it puts you in an uncomfortable spotlight, because I do think what you're doing is quite noble, but there's something about it's taboo. That's such a good word for it. Something about this is taboo. I don't know if it's an unusual political stance, if it's an unusual religious stance, if it's... Anyway, you'll know what that message means if it's yours. I almost called you Virgo. I think because of this, some of you may have very strong Virgo in your chart. All right, anyway. I do keep getting you're risking something... you're taking some sort of risk that you know is a financial risk, but this is beautiful, guys. Again, don't make it your message if it's not, but intuitively, you know this is your path. You're supposed to go down the spiritual path because it makes you happy. The Six of Cups is frequently a card of soulmates. In a career spread, when this card comes up and this card, which is, again, the 1111, the soulmate, the divine timing, right? The twin flame energy. There's something about you're going for the career of your lifetime. It's the career that is your soulmate, if you look at it in that sense. But a lot of you are afraid to risk the finances that come with it. But nights bring change and movement into our life. What you may transition into is the Five of Pentacles, which flat out, it's probably the hardest money card. But because intuitively you sense that there's more to be seen here. It's like, I've just started down this dark trail. What's carrying you is that faith, that hope, that star you carry in your lantern, which is symbolic of your own internal light. That's exactly what the High Priestess is. She's all-knowing. She's the direct recipient of messages from God. from spirit, from universe. So it's saying to me, although it appears dark, it appears shadowy, I haven't figured out all the answers yet. Intuitively, Queen of Cups, all this Cancerian energy, right? Intuitively, you feel it, that you are meant to go down this path, because while money may be tight here and there, eventually you're going to have a breakthrough where, this isolation, abandonment, hardship card eventually turns into like, I just heard raising the roof. Erecting some sort of banner of your accomplishments, of your celebrations, of your milestones, where if money is tight or there's a deduction in money or I don't know how else to say it. Essentially, money is weird for a bit when you decide to go down this spiritual soul path, but something about it gets erected again. With these wands, it's all about growth and development. And with the Four of Wands, any four in tarot is a comfort zone. That's the thing. When you decide to leave the comfort zone, which I think a lot of you do, because that's what we were saying, it was financially reliable, right? But you weren't happy. When you decide to leave that sort of comfort zone, and again, emotionally, it's emotional bravery to pursue something that you love to do or that you see yourself succeeding in. I do think it's very spiritual. You've heard the calling to go down this road. That's when you reach a new comfort zone of not only growth and stability in your money, in your soul's purpose, in your life path, there's significant growth and change. And intuitively, you feel this. You may actually be very secretive about this career. You probably don't talk about it with a lot of people, particularly if it does involve writing or books, or I'm seeing someone at like a computer typing up documents. It could even be doing like graphic design on your computer. I am getting very much something you could do work from home, something like you at a desk doing your thing. It could even be something with like, I'm getting like a junk journal or something where you're gluing pieces and parts together. I don't know what that would be, but you're very secretive about it, but it's your little baby, right? It's your little engine that could, right? You see it growing from its infancy into, it's funny, like the baby and into like the whole damn family. So again, some of you might be working with specifically children. Maybe you're involved in a career that's helping mothers, or this is funny, or not funny, that's the complete wrong word for it, but awkward, something about unfit mothers. It could be doing something that help like young women who get pregnant when they're like 15, 16. You might be some sort of initiator that helps provide them like a stable foundation, or something that provides them stable income, or I don't know what that would be, like shelter. I'm getting you. Something about you do help families. And I know that's not for everybody, but that's coming through. Something about the mother and the child. The mother and child reunion. That's a Paul Simon song. Does that mean anything to anyone? Is someone named Paul? Peter, Paul, and Mary? All right, I'm getting all these hits. I don't know what they mean. I think a lot of you are questioning, is it worth it? That's what any 7 in tarot is. Is it worth it financially? That's your biggest theme in this whole reading. Is it worth it? Do I value my own happiness over having a paycheck every 2 weeks? Or do you know what I mean? A very solid foundation in money. What you don't understand is there's some sort of idea that exists within you that it's meant to grow and develop. It's meant to skyrocket. It's meant to be seen. So here's the thing, by staying in the safety zone, there's nothing wrong with that. But the longer you stay there, the less fire you feel, the less passion you feel to struggle and fight your way out. Enjoy that struggle, because it shows that you're a warrior, that you still have the fight in you to really chase your dreams, to not settle, to not, commit yourself to a life that it's just okay. And here's the thing, I don't mean to be insensitive, especially with what's going on now. I understand not everybody has the luxury of being like, I'm just going to leave my job because I'm an artist. Like, it's great if you can do that, but I understand, Gemini, you being an air sign, logic, right? Not everybody can do that. Wait for your moment, right? You will, with the High Priestess coming up, it's like, you already know. You'll know when the divine timing is. You'll see it. It's something about the glowing lights. It will be illuminated to you, probably at night when you're rolling around in bed and you can't sleep at night, Four of Swords. Yeah, you have a major epiphany in your dreams regarding your career, a King of Wands. Okay, guys, this is so great. You get some sort of major intuitive download. It is probably in a state of sleep, or I said this to someone else, twilight sleep. I think that's when you're just falling asleep, or the opposite, when you're just starting to wake up, but you're still kind of half in that dream state, half like, back to reality. You get some sort of major epiphany or intuitive hit about the career you're building for yourself and when it's time to go. Knight of Wands, the knight who flies, right? The knight, fire, energy, passion, motivation. He's always there for a good time. It's the thrill of the new experience, but yeah, there's no stopping him. There's no holding him back. There is no comfort zone. For my Knight of Wands, it's one experience after the next. Here's the thing, the Knight of Wands gets a bad rap because he's like the player. In a love spread, it's the Don Juan DeMarco. He goes from one to the next, right? In a career and finances spread, it's like as soon as a job feels lackluster or unfulfilling, whether it's financially or emotionally, boom, he's gone. He's gone. Fire signs do tend to have a lot of jobs throughout the years, right? And I don't mean to paint a broad canvas, but it's because fires need oxygen. They need freedom. They need growth. They need that breath of fresh air. So yeah, you will not see a lot of fire signs chained to a desk for 50 years. It would suffocate them. They physically couldn't do it. So some of you who have very strong fire in your chart, that in itself is a message for you. Find a career that allows you to breathe. Breathing in creativity, breathing out love, again, being a light worker, doing something that you feel spiritually fulfilled doing. What I get from this Queen of Wands, you're dipping your toe into the pool of it. You're considering it. You're toying with the idea. You're flirting with the idea of leaving. I know for certain that's most of your message. It's just a matter of timing. Divine timing, right? 11:11. Some of you might be seeing that on a clock going, is that me? Universe, is that you? Was that a message for me? Yeah, there's something about, in terms of working out all the details, I am getting specifically about the travel involved here. Yeah, pay attention to the signs that universe is trying to send you, because you are presenting as the high priestess. You guys may have very strong Cancer in your chart, right? That is kind of like a neighboring sign to you. Nonetheless, though, it's saying you are the recipient of messages from God, from universe, from spirit, whatever you believe in. Spirit is trying to illuminate you how to get back on track, or how to get onto that soul path that's going to lead you to like the castle on the hill, right? The fairy tale ending, this is like a glimpse of it. You already see it. You can already visualize it. In a sense, you're already building and working towards it. You're already manifesting it, but I am getting there's going to be a shift that involves like a gust, a burst of bravery in a way that you've never taken this before. That's what's going to be, I think, relayed to you either from message and maybe it's in meditation, right? At a state of rest. There's some important download you're going to get. Let's hop into like these cards that actually I put in your spread, because you have like a lot of stuff going on there. You are a healer though, Temperance. It's all about patience and balance, all in good time. But yeah, your spirit guides are surrounding this. It's almost like they're offering their blessing. There's light at the end of the tunnel for you. So I am encouraging a lot of you who resonate with this, it's almost like don't unpack all your bags at this job, even if you've been there for 5-10 years. If you're still feeling unfulfilled and there's a huge part of you that's questioning, should I leave? That intuition is correct, in that there's something else dawning. There's a new idea dawning. You're meant to go down this path that's, again, it's being illuminated to you, but look, his back is turned to it, so there's still a sense of mystery. You're not sure exactly where this is going. You just know it's supposed to take you somewhere. And it's okay to know that somewhere will reveal itself slowly over time. This Ace of Swords for you represents valuable information that you need to light a fire under your ass, to go in that new direction. Knight of Wands is not all that concerned with the details. He'll figure it out along the way. It's Sagittarian energy, right? They're kind of like the rebels of the zodiac, right? They do what they want. They say what they want. They're very blunt. They go after it because it's a feeling. It's that fire in the hand. It just feels right. If they sense that, hey, there's sunlight up around the bend, I want to go see it. I want to experience. But also because of that fire energy, again, I'm being called to say fire signs for you guys. They want to feel that warmth, that excitement, that energy. It's almost like crack to them. They need that excitement in their life. So yeah, for my Geminis in a job that is just so mundane, you're bored out of your mind, this is not your final resting place. Please don't settle. Or at minimum, look for new innovative ways to make your job more exciting. Maybe you're going to be the leader, right? Maybe you're going to be the instigator of doing things in a different way that really shake it up. Maybe you're going to be the little rebel in your job and be like, guys, we've been doing it this way for 10 years. Have we ever thought about doing it this way? Like mixing up the ingredients. That's what Temperance is. I almost put these cards next to each other. Double Sagittarian energy. philosophical, spiritual leaders even. Yeah, they can't be chained down. The biggest fear of many Sagittarians is a loss of their freedom, and I'm getting that from you guys. Because here's the thing, you have the prisoner card coming up, right? The mental prisoner card, though actually that's a message for some of you too. You may work in criminal justice or something with the legal system. Something about a court case and an unfair ruling. Yeah, especially for, air signs, that makes sense, but particularly anybody who's something involving a Libra, a court case, something like the rule book. You may be changing up the rules, and maybe that's why this thing is so controversial. I don't know what that's about, but anyway. There's an extreme fear of losing your freedom, and I mean, obviously with quarantine happening, that's what that can represent too. For some, and okay, that makes sense too for even if you're not Sagittarian, something about that is your divine counterpart actually. So maybe that's your husband or your wife or whatever. There's something about the idea of having to work from home every day absolutely terrifies you. And not for everyone, but I'm in a glass case of emotions. You're very, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. You're very fragile right now. Yeah, because you're just not happy, Gemini. The work you do makes you happy, or it's not necessarily this work, though something about this work is rewarding to you or you wouldn't have stayed there for so long. And again, maybe that has to do with the paycheck involved, but there's some sort of spiritual work or light work or some sort of like healing work, something good for humanity, good for the community. When you do that, it lights your fire. It makes you feel alive because you're doing something good. Yeah, I just keep getting this metaphor of being shackled to a desk or shackled to a room or shackled to a boss. You're just not happy there. So I guess I'm asking you, when is enough enough? And again, some of you are just waiting for the calling, but some of you have already gotten the calling, but you chose to write it off as coincidence. This is saying to me like, these messages that you're receiving, there's purpose to them. Some of you need to keep a dream journal. You need to write down the dreams you're having because it's answers to your prayers. Your dreams essentially are passing you a key to unlock your future. That's all about what the Hermit is too. But that's what I mean. You guys feel stuck. You may have a boss from hell that you absolutely hate. From hell, right? The devil. You could work with a Capricorn who you're not terribly fond of, but there's something here you feel like you're stuck. Why can't you leave? It's like the benefits are so good, or, my commute is so great, or whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter. It's beliefs you're telling yourself that, in a sense, they're keeping you stuck. And some of that is good. Some of that is intuition because you are looking out for your own safety, for your own like long-term success, like having a shelter, like having food, having a steady paycheck, right? These, it's almost like when your flag is raised is like, oh, safety, danger, danger. I get that. You do need to look out for yourself financially, but you also need to look out for your spiritual health. That's sort of what's coming through here. Yeah, it's something about living in a dark cage, living in a dark space. Is that what it feels like inside of you, Gemini? It feels sad. It just doesn't feel fulfilled. It feels like you've resigned yourself to a life of service, right? Some of you may work as like a maid or something like serving the devil or serving someone up on a higher pay scale than you, but you're just floundering down below. Like you're just the little guy. You feel very stuck and unhappy there. Patience, but know that you're meant to go on to something much bigger and much better. A crusader, I just heard. You're a crusader. But okay, you have good friends at this job, potentially. That could be one of the reasons that you're staying there, or that you're afraid to lose the friendships. Or it could involve something about, because you have the Five of Pentacles, which if it doesn't have to do with a hardship in your money, it does sometimes have to do with the idea of feeling lost, feeling abandoned, feeling lonely. Some of you may be too nervous to go independent, to do an entrepreneurship or something that involves you and just you, because you would miss the communal aspect of being amongst the group. I know you guys are like, where's my money at? There's not a lot of pentacle cards here. There's stability with where you guys are at, even if you're not living, lavishly, right? Maybe you're just getting by, but you've been just getting by for what seems like years now. something about a financial risk. And that could even be taking some sort of risk to ask someone to borrow money, to apply for a loan, to do something like that would help you grow your business. Page of Pentacles. Because yet there's something you're not seeing. You're making it more difficult or more work on yourself. It may, in fact, have to do with asking for help or seeing a healer, seeing a therapist. Yes, especially with this card, some of you are being asked if you need to vocalize your fears or anxieties with like a professional like counselor, because something about healing your heart will help set you free. The scariness or the fear that you feel when you think about leaving something steady, it may have to do with false beliefs that you've been carrying around your whole life. This could even represent an emotionally manipulative parent figure. It's like, well, you're our child, you can never leave. But you're like, but I really want to move to London to pursue this. No. All our family is here. We need you. Again, up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but there's burdens you're carrying around where if you were to just drop them, I'm just sort of getting the repercussions of that wouldn't be as bad as you think. Again, with this, there might be some sort of finish line. There might be this indicator of like, I'm ready to drop this shit, like right now. Because I think intuitively, Gemini, you sense, yes, I want to do that, but when? When is the right time? It's almost like you have to look for the finish line. That's what this is too, right? Like the banner and the ribbon, someone running a race, and then it's like, their chest breaks that ribbon, the completion. You're almost there. The 10 of Wands indicates the closing out or the changing up of a cycle. I'm getting a few more months of this, and then you guys decide to call it quits because you've reached that new cycle. Something about you've cleared up your mind. A lot of you do need to do some internal work right now about releasing negative thoughts that are holding you back about yourself, about your self-worth, about your confidence. This could also indicate that you are overly sensitive to critical reception too. If you are getting into a career that, again, it spawns a lot of negativity, or I guess use your own intuition. I would assume most of what you guys are doing is good light work. That's sort of the way it's being relayed to me. I don't think you're the evil villain, right? You got to follow your own spiritual path, but this is also saying if you are highly receptive to, I say this a lot, to either praise or criticism, you're going to take both to heart. And praise is lovely. Everybody likes hearing that they're doing well. But in a sense, you have to be able to equally deflect both and just, a humble like, thanks, thank you so much. Because otherwise, if you feed off of that energy of praise, when even one person comes in, it's like, oh, you're terrible. I hate this. What are you doing? You're going to take that to heart. You're going to be like, really? You don't like it? So if this isn't representing your own negative thoughts, it is saying that in a sense, even in your childhood, you were criticized quite a bit, or something about you took something to heart that made you believe it to be your truth. I just heard your cage. Your cage, your imprisonment of false thoughts. Maybe someone told you could never do that. That's not an acceptable career. This to me is like, oh, really? Well, watch me. Watch me like mend my health. Watch me heal my own feelings and nurture my own cup, nurture my own dreams. Like, I'm going places you don't even know. Haters gonna hate. And I'm with this. What is that expression? What is that expression? Essentially proving your critics wrong. Like the best revenge is your own success. That's what I'm getting from this. Again, you're very tight-lipped about it though. So maybe you learned early on this isn't something you can discuss with a lot of people because people tend to criticize it a lot or laugh about it. Or there's something about what you're trying to do people don't take seriously. And so you learn very quickly, mum's the word. You just got to keep going down this path because you sense it is your divine path. Yeah, it's a moment of time. There's going to be a break. There's going to be a break in the cycle, and you're going to take some sort of leap of faith. That's what this whole thing has been about. I want to, but when? When is the right time? Intuitively, you're going to get the message, and I'm sorry, this isn't me being a cop-out. You're just going to know. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and that chrysalis, it's nice and cozy. It's your cozy zone. It's your comfort zone. But eventually, you're a damn butterfly, and like you have to fly. You're going to break free. Again, a lot of you are going to travel for a career. You're going to move to a brand new city, and it happens quite easily. When you're ready to, Gemini, you just know it. You won't have to force it or fight it or struggle or convince anyone. It's going to be the fool. It's going to be like, today's the day. I quit. I'm going to move to Boston, or whatever it is. It's just like, here we go. Like the fool. It's beautiful, lovely, innocent, extremely positive optimism. It's that type of energy. It's saying to me, once a cycle closes out, it's like you wake up a brand new person one day and you intuitively know it's time to do that. And from there, there's steady growth. There is a Three of Pentacles energy. So it could involve a teamwork. You may decide to collaborate with someone or two other people, and there's an ease to it. You release yourself from the devil. You unshackle yourself from this negativity or criticism or just a lack of independence. You stop seeking people's permission to do anything because you've nurtured your self-love. You've fulfilled your own destiny and your own wishes by honoring your feelings, by honoring your cup. And with that comes income from this thing that you're building. You free yourself from the devil. It's so funny. And with this, I'm just going to bye. Again, there's an ease to it. This could even indicate a very difficult conversation you're dreading having with your boss or with your best friend or with your parent. When you finally decide to do it, as long as you come at it with love and integrity and an emotional truth, I'm telling you this because I feel it in my heart. This is what I want to do. You need an easy button. It's like, oh, well, that was easy. And then you're off. You're flying. Gemini, this is a really beautiful reading. All right, we're wrapping it up. Let's throw a couple of these on it. For my Geminis. I know you guys are like, but how much money am I going to make? I gotta be real with you guys. Most of you know this. When I do career and financial readings, I don't get those messages. It's almost like Spirit has not chosen me to be that type of tarot reader. I do things about your spiritual path, your spiritual journey. I don't fight it. I relay the messages that come. Very rarely do I get, oh my God, you're going to make this much money on this. It just doesn't happen that way. I'm sorry. But I'm sure there's other readers who can tell you that. But I am not one of them. And I don't mind admitting that to you. My gifts have more to do with your soul's purpose, your soul's journey. Creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. Painters. Did I say something about painters? And maybe writers. Support. Your life purpose fully supports you. Temperance. Archangel Michael. And body work. Your life purpose involves body work, such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. And maybe tattoo artists as well for some of you. All right, one more card and then we will close out. Final message for my Gemini friends out there. For my gems. Yeah, if there's a struggle to make something happen, it's probably not the right time. Again, it's a vague message to me, but it's like you will know almost instantly, intuitively, when it's time to cut or sever ties with something that has been holding you back or kept you stuck, or again, just kept you in a comfort zone. That's what this is. This comfort zone isn't all bad. It's kept you nice and cozy. It's kept you preserved. It's kept you ready, but eventually your wings are just going to pop out and you're going to fly and you'll know, oh, this is my time. It's like, I'm already mid-sail or I'm already mid-flight. I'm in the airplane. Oh, I guess I'm moving to this city. You just know it. You just know it. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep, deep healing. Love it. That's you, Gemini. Look how badass she is. Love it. All right, guys, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.